case of coming to the Hungary, the circuit has only seen one Hungarian driver start their home race. Northbound Gardner raced in both the 2003 and 2004 races with Jordan and Minardi, respectively. This circuit is often called the Dust Bowl, and with good reason. Surrounded by elevation on all sides and with dry dirt frequently blown across the track, this race can be a physical challenge for all drivers. Drivers are expecting a tricky session ahead.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to JPR Season 7, Round 3 again. Obviously, last week we had Round 3 in Qatar, but we had problems with that race. Qatar's been moved to Round 10, so we'll be doing that track a little bit later. But for now, this is going to be counted as Round 3. It's going to be a sprint night, so slightly different format than what we're used to. Obviously, just the short quali. Got to get out there pretty early and get your lap time. This will be followed by a sprint race, 12 laps long, and then the feature race, 35 laps. This is the Hungary ring, 4.4 kilometer, 14 corner circuit. A lot of slow speed corners, a lot of winding, difficult to pass. You need to rely on those DRS zones, the 2 DRS zones that you do get. Otherwise, everywhere else, if the car in front of you keeps to his racing line and doesn't make mistakes, it's going to be very difficult to get past. So qualifying, very important. And remember, it's just short quali. Track already very busy, just 3 of the 15 drivers choosing to remain in the pits. Everyone else either on an outlap or a fast lap. Everyone out on circuit. RZDV remains in the pits. His teammate is on an outlap at Magozi. Got a Red Bull taking to the grass. Got to be careful. That's what Perez did a few hours ago. Just touched the grass on his way into the chicane and found himself up against the wall. Judge making a rare appearance. Hasn't had too much luck on the electricity side of things. Glad to see him in the lineup for tonight. Obviously driving 4 Haas. Seems like we only have the 1 Haas on the grid tonight. First times of the night are starting to come up. Shane, fastest time of the night so far, 16 flat, followed by tunable 16.4. Then 80 into the 17s, nothing in it, a 117.1 for AD, a 117.1 for Brad. Then we've got Pampun 5th, 117.2. Top Gun goes 6th, 117.5, and the lap times are changing too quick. Not Shumi goes 2nd, 116.3. Let's bring some stats up on your screen. See, this is now MJ, the second of the 2 Red Bull drivers. His teammate currently in provisional pole on a 116.0. He's looking for his first timed lap. So far 10 drivers have done a lap time. Down from Shane in first, down to Heno in 10th. MJ's about to set a lap time and he goes 10th. Displaces Heno. Still waiting for lap times from Yaku. He's on an outlap, as is J-Boy on an outlap. Judge, I believe, is on a timed lap. 9 cars now have returned to the pits. I'm sure getting ready for their next run. Doing the adjustments that they can. Obviously parc fermé rules do apply. So very few adjustments are able to be done. Prediction in the comment section. To everyone who is watching, don't be shy. Leave a comment, say hello. But prediction for pole position. You can't just give me a prediction for pole position and a name. If you're going to give me a prediction for pole position, I want a name and I want a prediction, time-wise. Currently we have a 1:16.0. Are we going to see less than that? Give a prediction. Ride with the judge. He was able to go 11th, just ahead of Heno, 1:20.0. All of the top runners, the top 10, all in the pits. AD comes out on an outlap, as does Tunable. Judge making his way back to the pits. DRS Yaku, he's looking for his first time lap. He's currently in Sector 1. And we have J-Boy. He's just gone through Sector 1. If I'm not mistaken, he went through Sector 1 purple. Let's keep an eye on this lap. Such a difficult circuit not to be greedy on. You come out of these slow corners, you want to jump on the power. Got to jump on the power. And I'm not quite sure of this. I'm sorry, I got caught up in the comments. I got a prediction for pole position, and it's 9/10 off what currently is pole. So yeah, that's not going to be good enough for pole. So I'm going to need a proper prediction. J-Boy goes over the line at 1:16.7. Lost a lot of time because he was purple in Sector 1. So not able to match that same pace throughout the track. RZDV returning to the pits. Staffy out on track, he's starting a lap. Heads into turn 1 here. This is probably the part of the track I find most difficult. The exit of that corner right there, you want to get on the power. You know the DRS zone is just a few meters in front of you. You just got to be patient on the throttle, and it's not easy. It's going to be a lot more difficult at the start of the race with a full tank though. Currently we have the 2 Aston Martins, the 11th and 12th Pantry Star. One of our reserve drivers making an appearance tonight. Staffy not far from his teammate, just 4/10. So wouldn't take a big improvement, but I'm sure he's looking for a lap time that will get him into the top 10. But to get into the top 10, it's going to have to find 0.8 of a second. Fantastic lap time from 80 in the Ferrari. 16.3 puts him in second place, just ahead of Natsumi by 1/100th of a second. So he's gone second. I think he's going to be very happy with that time. Where is your provisional pole sitter, Shane, with the 1:16.0? He's out on track. Currently in Sector 1, looking to improve on that time. Obviously this is his second run, still 8 minutes remaining in the session. Wonder how many other drivers will be doing the second run on a scrubbed set of softs, then doing the final run on a brand new set Did mention this track, it's twisty, it's tight, a lot of slow speed corners, and you don't want to leave that qualifying lap for too late. It's one of those sort of tracks that if you get traffic, it's going to be a mess. Shane now into the penultimate corner, looking to, nope, he dives into the pits. AD also making his way to his pit garage, and as we join, not Shumi, he runs wide, goes off circuit, no damage done there. Luckily for all these tar that we have these days instead of gravel, otherwise that could have been a bit of a mess. Tar runoff areas, runoff, that's the word I was looking for. Sorry, my English is something's not quite right. Fantastic, the lap times here between the top four, just 0.4 of a second cover the top four, and 1/100th of a second covers second and third. Manu will be looking to improve on his time. He's currently got a 1:16.7. That's Pampun. Currently in 7. Another one looking to improve. RZDV. Ooh, almost losing it there on the exit of turn 1. Really a difficult corner. You want to get going, you want to get into the DRS zone, but you just got to be patient. The car's not ready. He's going through sector 1. He's just 0.3 up on sector 1. And now running wide in sector 2 before the chicane. He's going to give up on this lap. So for now, 1:17.3 and 10th place it is. We get on board with Williams driver Wezo. Currently no lap time set. I don't know if that's because this is the first time he has emerged from the pit lane, or if he's had a couple of invalidated runs. Either way, no lap time on the board, and currently 16th. He'll be looking to improve on that. His teammate up the road, Yaku, currently 19th, the 1:17.0. It's 1 second adrift from provisional pole. He's going around the final corner now to see if he can improve on that time, improve on that 9th position. He does, he goes 6th, and it's a 1:16.9. That's incredible. He didn't improve by that much, but 4 positions, it shows how close these times are. I did not expect to see the top 9 drivers all in the 1:16s. Will we see someone dip into the 1:15s? Possibly Shane on a new set of softs. Who else has got a 1:15 in them tonight? We'll find out in the next 4 minutes. Everyone is either on their final run, about to start it, or in a rush to leave the pits. We're about to have a busy racetrack. Right on board with the AlphaTauri of J-Boy, currently 7th. He's got a 1:16.7. A team that's definitely in the news this weekend. Daniel Ricciardo making his return to Formula 1. And returning to AlphaTauri 10 years after he left Toro Rosso. J-Boy goes 5th, 1:16.5. And it just makes this top 9 even closer. Just 0.8 of a second, cover 9 drivers. Fantastic to see the level of competition at the front. No movement from Shane or AD, so no movement from your provisional front row with just over 2.5 minutes to go. Hopefully we'll see them out on track, have one more go at it. Can AD find another 3/10 and put the Ferrari on pole? We'll find out, because I can tell you he's on an outlap. And I'm almost certain that Shane will follow shortly. Tunable currently 4th, 1:16.4. He's going to have to find half a second if he wants to take pole position. And as I say that, commentator's curse, I hope he's not watching. But he goes off circuit, hits the wall, and that's not going to be the lap time he was looking for. Not Shumi starting his fast lap. And as you can see, traffic all round. Traffic all round. It's going to be a busy lap. Got to make sure you find your space, you find your bubble before you get to that fast lap. Can't rely on cars in front of you getting out of the way. A lot will be on their own fast laps, won't be interested in their mirrors. All important to make sure that your final run is a clean one. Pampun begins his final run, just 1.5 minutes remaining on the clock. A lot of these cars could get over the checkered flag and do another lap, but we simply don't have enough battery power for that. At the front, Shane has left the pits. He's on an outlap. We ride with AD, the man currently in second place, just 0.3 of a second off provisional pole position. Does he have 0.4 in him? Does Shane have a 15 in him? We'll soon find out. Just over 30 seconds remain. Very busy track. I'm going to try and keep you updated on as much as I can. Top 3 at the moment covered by 0.3 of a second. Natsumi, AD and Shane, all 3 of those drivers are out on track. So really, if Shane doesn't improve, AD and Natsumi just need to find 0.4 of a second. Pampun now puts it in 4th place. It's going to be an all McLaren second row. If things remain as they are, we'll soon find out. AD goes around the final corner. And that was not it. Does he have enough battery power to do another one? Where is Shane? Now going around the penultimate corner and into the final corner. Onto what's not a very long pit straight. See if you can improve on that 1:16.0. He does not. It's a 10th off. It's a 1:16.1. Tell you who does improve on the 1:16.0. It's not Shumi. 1:15.9. Very nicely done. McLaren stealing pole position at the very last minute. No one else on track right now on a fast lap. And I believe that will be your starting order. Staffy beating his time trial time in qualifying. That is that's pretty rare. Oh, it just means your time trial time is really bad. Coming from me, can't take any offense. There's a reason I came to the commentary box. I simply can't drive these cars in this game. So your order. Natsumi stealing it right at the end, a 1:15.9. Shane went out to try and improve on his 1:16.0 and he actually lost a test. He did a 1:16.1. 80 wasn't able to improve. And Pampun, towards the end of the session, getting that second McLaren up into the top 4. Still a minute remaining in the session, but there we go. Your final results, Natsumi stealing pole with seconds to go. Shane coming in second, just 0.08 of a second, losing out. Then 80 in third, Pampun fourth, Tunable fifth, J-Boy sixth, Yaku in seventh, Pantry Star eighth, Brad ninth, RZDV 10th. Then outside of the top 10 we have Top Gun in 11th, Wezo 12th, Stappy 13th, MJ in 14th, Heno 15th, The Judge in 16th, and no lap time. Apmagozi starting from 17th on the grid. Remember that tonight is a sprint night, so following this qualifying session we will have our sprint race. That is going to be a 12-lap race. And then after that we will have our feature race, 55 laps. See, the sprint race, a great opportunity to get some extra points. And if the guys at the top of the championship make a few mistakes tonight, you can really reclaim some points and even out the championship a little. RZDV seems to have left the lobby because I see he's just rejoined. So maybe having a few issues. Luckily he's back in time for the formation lap. So the prediction of Shane for pole position turned out to be incorrect. Natsumi deciding to change that at the last second. Obviously we await now the drivers on the grid. Guys going through any strategy changes they would want to make. It's a sprint race, so it's pretty much start to finish unless we have any safety cars. And obviously then you could always underfuel a little, but if the safety cars don't come, there will be big problems. Getting a bit of deja vu, really, seeing two McLarens so far up the field at the start of a race. Will we see Pampun diving into turn one, taking a position like Lando Norris did on Max Verstappen? Can they keep the pace? Or will Shane be doing the dive bomb into turn one? Quite a tight turn one this is. Not as bad as Monza, but still has the potential to cause a lap one, turn one pile-up. Interesting to watch how the different drivers lead their own formation laps. I've noticed that when Shane leads a formation lap, he likes to run away in the beginning and then take it very slow in sector 3. That's when the field comes back together. But Natsumi has pretty much kept this field together throughout the lap. So different strategies, different ideas about warming up the tires. There we go, that's very helpful. Thank you, game. Possible strategies. If you start on softs, 0 pit stops. If you start on mediums, 0 pit stops. That is a truly helpful stat that I would not have been able to continue this broadcast without. Thank you, EA. We now wait for the final cars on the grid to line up. That will be followed by the 5 red lights, and we'll be underway. Keep on getting terrible camera angles. That's 4. That's 5. And we're go. We go. Great start by the Red Bull. Great start by the McLaren. Who's going to get into turn 1 first? Looks like Red Bull have accepted that second place for now. Tunable 80 going side by side. Out of turn 1. Up to turn 2. And the Alfa Romeo gets the position around the outside. Tunable up into 3rd. 80 down into 4th. And he's being hassled by a McLaren. Pampun in 5th. J-Boy holds position in 6th, as does Pantry Star. Top Gun, big winner at the start of the race. He's made up 3 positions, up to 8th. Yaku's lost 2. He's down to 9th. 2nd, Aston Martin, down to 10th place. That's Brad. And then Staffy's made up 2 positions at the start of the race. We're already under a safety car, trying to see where the incident is on track. But it seems like RZDV has DNF'd and the judge has DSQ'd. So I'm not judge, if you are on the stream, let me know what happened with the DSQ. What is that all about? And then obviously we have one Mercedes already out of the race. Safety car is so early on in the race, plus it's a sprint race, so no one diving into the pits. I presume all the cars that are diving into the pits are cars with damage. There's no real need for a strategy change, unless you're on a set of mediums and decide, you know what, I'll go for a set of softs rather and start from the back. When we do restart this race, it looks like it's going to be not Shumi leading from the front again. Shane starting from 2nd. Tunable will be in 3rd, so he's made up 2 positions. Pampun still in 4th. AD has lost 2. He's down to 5th. And he's going to be hassled by J-Boy and Pantry Star at the start of the race. Biggest winner so far, the 2nd Mercedes, Apmagozi, has made 5 positions since the start of the race, up to 12th from 17th. For the time being, race is neutralized. We ride behind the safety car. Brad now picks up a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Heno. So I wonder if we're going to see those cars dive into the pits for damage, and I wonder if they're going to be able to catch the queue before the safety car disappears back into the pits. Surely this is the last lap behind the safety car. So now at the restart, it's going to be all important. Into turn 1. Natsumi got a great start at the start of the race, but hopefully he hasn't lost a bit of concentration. That's what can sometimes happen when you're driving behind the safety car. When you get back up to speed, you don't get quite back up to speed as fast as your car does. So he's going to have to just keep his concentration and make sure he gets a good start. As far as Shane goes, he's not going to want that McLaren to get the jump on him. Obviously, once the safety car goes into the pits, the lead car effectively becomes the safety car. And you have to wait for him to take off. And make sure you don't pass before the start-finish line. So a short sprint race, 12 laps. It's going to be even shorter. Obviously race neutralized very early on, and we're going to start again and have, if the safety car goes in now, which it is, we're going to have 9 laps to the finish. 8 laps to the finish. And here we go around the final corner. There we go. That's a good start. Didn't get too far away. Red Bull still has him in his sights. No DRS for now. Just gonna have to wait a while before DRS is activated. Difficult to pass here in Hungary. Gonna rely on that DRS or the driver in front of you making a mistake. Tunable still holding on to 3rd. 80's 5th. Pampun still 4th. Top 6 remain exactly the same. J-Boy down into 7th. Top Gun 8th, Yaku 9th, and Staffy makes up the top 10. MJ having a good race, just outside the top 10. He's made up 3 positions in 11th. Akmagozi's made up 2 positions in 12th. And Heno's made up 2 positions in 13th. Most disfortune so far would have to go to Brad. He's lost, and as I say that, it changes. Yaku now losing 8 positions since the start of the race. Top 3 remain the same. Gaps are widening a little bit. Crucially, that gap for the lead still under a second, so when DRS does come into play, Red Bull will have it immediately. Matsumi's next task will be breaking that 1 second barrier, ensuring the Red Bull does not get the positive effect of DRS. Remember, this is just the sprint race. Feature race will follow. This is an opportunity to score extra points. But 17 drivers start this race. 15 remain. Obviously the 1 DNF from our reigning champion, RZDV. And 1 DSQ from the judge. And if anyone can tell me in the comment section if they know anything why he was DSQ'd, let me know. And if anybody can just give me confirmation on weather. Lap 6 of 12. Top 3 remain in the same order. Gap for the lead. Just going over a second. Important to watch that gap. It's crucial for DRS. Staffy now has made up more positions. He's up into 8th place. Getting a nice handful of points for Aston Martin. Just needs to keep it out on track. It's a difficult circuit, and there's still a good chance that some guys in front of you are going to encounter problems. In fact, right in front of him, there's a train of cars, which he should catch shortly, being led by his teammate. So if his teammate can back that line of cars up into Staffy, Staffy will be there in no time. Top 3 still same order. Natsumi, Shane, Tunable. Pampun remains 4th. 2 Williams drivers not having their best day. 10th and 15th for Wezo and Yaku. Same can be said for Ferrari. AD down in 12th. Heno down in 14th. Brilliant qualifying session from AD. A low 116. As far as the race goes, Natsumi leading quite comfortably. for the time being. 1.3 seconds is the gap, so he has broken that DRS, and that could be crucial. Let's bring up some tire stats on your screen so we can have a look who's on what tire. Your top 3 all on softs, and then the next 3, 4th, 5th and 6th, all on mediums. Wonder if that will come into play in the last 2 or 3 laps of the race. Will that soft start going off? Will the drivers start having some sort of disadvantage? And will that bring the medium into play? Just having a look at these tyres. Apmagozi sticking out like a sore thumb. He's the only driver on a set of hards. Not sure if that's to save a set of tyres, but he is on a set of hards. We've got an Aston Martin and a Williams switching positions. Staffy doesn't put too much of a fight up. DRS had a big role to play with that. Staffy down to 9th. Wezo doing a bit of a recovery drive, trying to gain some positions, find his way up higher into that top 10. His next target, 5.5 seconds up the road, in the form of the Alpha Tauri of J-Boy. Four laps remain. Chimi leads. That gap continues to grow, 2.1 seconds. Shane doing what he can to stay within reach. Hopefully not Shimi taking a bit out of those tyres. That's what Shane will be hoping for. Save those tyres for the last few laps. You are on a set of softs, so surely they're going to drop off right towards the end. I don't think it's going to be enough to bring these guys back into play. 3 cars on mediums, the gap is quite substantial. But the battle for 3rd place is far from over. Tunable hanging on to 3rd for now. And behind him, he has Pantry Star, J-Boy and Pompun, all chasing for the final step of the podium. All 3 of those cars on mediums, tunable on a set of softs. So if those softs do start to drop off, he's a sitting duck. Magosi still going, set of hards, 15th. Here we have Heno, second of the 2 Ferraris. May not be the quickest driver on the circuit, but what he is one of the most consistent drivers on the circuit. Finishes most of his races. Yaku, the second Williams, he's 13th. Brad also trying to recover in that Alfa Romeo, he's currently 12th. And is that a broken wing? Yes, it is. That is a very, very broken wing. Even struggles to get it turned into turn 1. And I'm sure Brad in the Alfa Romeo is going to make light work of that Williams because he's really struggling around. 80, oh so close to the top 10. Laps are running out. He's going to have to find 3.5 seconds if he's going to make his way back into the top 10 and get at least 1 point out of this sprint race. He'll be disappointed from the race start to where he is now. But luckily the feature race, 35 laps long, still a lot can happen. Some viewers joining the stream, welcome. feel free to leave a comment. And if anyone knows, will the weather be dry? Can I just have confirmation on that? We go back to the front of this race. For the battle of the lead, that gap went into the 2.5 seconds range and looked like Natsumi was running away with it somewhat. The gap has come down, it's 1.4 seconds, but crucially, not a long way to go. I think Shumi would have to make a serious error on this final lap for the Red Bull driver to catch him. He's outside of DRS, so he's not going to get that advantage. But Natsumi will have to keep his concentration, will have to keep his head, because Shane is not far behind, 1.5 seconds. But I think that if the McLaren can keep the car in a straight line, there's no reason he should lose 1.5 seconds in a lap. Tunable coming under pressure from Pantry Star now for third place. Pantry Star did a dive up the inside of turn 1, outbraked himself and ran extremely wide. That allowed the Alfa Romeo to come back at him and reclaim third place. But for how long will he be able to hold on? Is he feeling the effects of the soft tyre? Are we seeing the difference between the soft and the medium? But luckily he doesn't have to hold that position for much longer. Just a few corners remain. We go back to your leaders. That gap has not come down any further. It's still 1.4 seconds. So like I say, barring any incident, and I don't think there will be, this is the final corner. And Natsumi made it look easy. Stole pole position with seconds remaining and then led the race from start to finish. Just the one safety car, so not too eventful. We go back to third, and Tunable will claim that third place. Did come under pressure from the Aston Martin, but he was able to hold on. Top Gun goes over the line in 6th, followed by the first of the two Williams in 7th, Wezo. We wait now for Pampun, 8th place. Goes over the line, Staffy 9th. And then your final points paying position, MJ in 10th and 80 just outside the top 10. 11th place, Yaku 12th. And then we wait for the second Ferrari, who's coming over the line as we speak, 13th place, Heno. Another race finish. And then the final car over the grid, Apmagozi. But remember, this is just round 1 of 2 for tonight. The big one comes up next. Here we go, driver of the day for your sprint race. Nicely done, Staffy. Picking up some points. There we go, there's your final positions. Natsumi taking the victory from pole position. Shane in 2nd, Tunable 3rd, Pantry 4th. Then we have J-Boy in 5th, Top Gun 6th, Wezo 7th, Pampun 8th, Staffy 9th, MJ 10th. Outside of the points paying positions, AD 11th, Yaku 12th, Heno 13, Apmagozi 14. And then failing to finish the race, Brad, RZDV, and the judge. Obviously, the 3 race drivers that were not able to finish the race, they will get a second opportunity now. Just because you win the sprint race doesn't mean you can win the feature race. This is a very different beast altogether. Guys are going to have a lot more fuel into turn 1 than what they had in the previous race. And obviously it's longer. It's all about concentration. I'm sure over a 30, is it 35 or 32? I think it's 32. Over a 32 lap race distance, I'm sure we're going to have more than just the one safety car. Obviously we had the one safety car very early on in that sprint race. Not 32 laps, 35 laps. There we go. Confirmation. Nobody's talking about the weather in the comment section, so I'm going to presume this is a dry race, because if there was a hint of rain, people would have told me by now. Obviously, the positions of the last race is how we will start this race. So retiring from the sprint round, Brad, RZDV and the judge, they will be starting from the back. Judge will be starting from 17th because he did not DNF, he DSQ'd. And then obviously winner of the last race, Natsumi, he will start on pole position, Shane second, Tunable third. Pantry Star was quite quick in that sprint race towards the end. Let's see, he's going to start on the second row. J-Boy 5th, Top Gun 6th. It's going to be a busy turn 1. A busy lap 1. Either that is the craziest weaving I have ever seen by the Alfa Romeo driver Tunable, or that is an interesting perspective from the internet. Tunable now on the grass. Not quite sure what happened there. Tunable. This car going left and something's not right there with the Alfa Romeo. And if anyone, and to anyone who is listening to this stream, if you're a driver, just watch out for the Alfa Romeo in third place. Jumping all over the circuit. What I'm saying is, don't trust his track position too much, because he might not be where you think he is. Again, F1 23, not having the very best camera angles for a race start. Still waiting for a good camera angle from a race start this season. We get to watch from the perspective of the 24th grid slot. I'd rather enjoy seeing the front row, but this is a different perspective. Yeah, Ulrich, we saw that just before the race. Wasn't doing it the whole formation lap. It really started doing it in sector 3, and then towards the last 2 corners he was all over the grass and all over the place. So seems like an internet issue. And now hopefully we don't have any further issues. Waiting for the race to begin. And I do not want to predict this, I do not want to say this too early, but I think there may be something wrong. And there we go, confirmation. We will be having a lobby restart. So I'm going to cut the stream for a few minutes, and when we come back, we'll be back for the 35 lap feature race in Hungary. We'll be back in a few minutes. Enjoy.